And welcome back. You are tuned into News and Views on Salam Media. The name is Zain Jadwid, standing in for Inayat Wadi this morning. And as we head closer to 9 o'clock, we are shortly to be joined by Mufti Moosa, Salie, a member of the Fatwa department at Jamiatul Ulama KZN, to speak to us this, to offer us this week's Jummah inspirations. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran for joining us.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Bismillah, Mufti Sab, the platform is all yours.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته to the listeners of Salam Media and all those who are listening via the various media channels. Today I want to speak a bit about Anas radiallahu anhu, the great Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Khadimu Rasulullah, who was known as the special servant of the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the advices that the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed to him as a young boy, as a young child who had just entered into his service. So we know the hadiths are quite famous about Anas radiallahu anhu, where he himself narrates that he served the Nabi of Allah for a period of 10 years. And in that 10-year period, he started from the tender age of about 8 years old. And we can understand a child from that age, how many errors, mishaps, and mistakes will a child at that age not commit. We know with our own children how often we tend to rebuke them and reprimand them for the things that they do wrong. But he says in the 10 years with the Nabi of Allah, his akhlaq was so excellent that he never ever asked me, if I did something wrong, why did you do that? And if I missed something out and I committed an error of commission, he did not ask me, why didn't you do this? The Nabi of Allah had the most excellent character. There is a famous hadith of Anas radiallahu anhu that is often quoted, wherein the Nabi of Allah addresses him and says, Ya bunayya in qadarta an tusbiha wa tumsiya wa laysa fi qalbika ghishun li ahadin fafa'al. That, oh my son, oh my young boy, if you are able to spend your days and nights without any malice and hatred in your heart for anyone, then do so. And then he said, oh my young son, وَذَلِكَ مِن سُنَّتِي, this is from my sunnah, my way of life. وَمَنْ أَحْيَا سُنَّتِي فَقَدْ أَحْيَانِي. And whoever has revived my sunnah, then he has brought me into his life. So this is the commonly narrated portion of this advice that the Nabi of Allah gave to Anas radiallahu anhu. However, in Al-Mu'jam al-Saghir, there is a lengthier narration which goes into much more detail, and I want to share some of the nasiha that the Nabi of Allah offered in this lengthier version of the hadith. So it is narrated again by Anas radiallahu anhu, and he says now the history that the Nabi of Allah comes to Medina, and I am 8 years old at the time. My mother takes me to the Nabi of Allah and she says, "O Nabi of Allah, different males and females of the Ansar, the people of my, of my tribe, they have given you different gifts and presents to welcome you into Madinatul Munawwara. However, I have nothing to offer you. The only thing I can offer you is the service of my son. Please accept this. He will be your servant at your service as long as you wish and for whatever you wish." The Nabi of Allah gladly accepted this from the mother of Anas radiallahu anhu. And Anas radiallahu anhu then says that he served the Nabi of Allah for 10 years, as we have said in the hadith. He further says in this, the Nabi of Allah never lifted a hand to me. He never used an ill word against me. He never even frowned at me. This was how excellent the Nabi of Allah ﷺ. And then he says, from the first advices that the Nabi of Allah ﷺ gave me was the following. So we will discuss different advices from here. One was the Nabi of Allah ﷺ says, Ya bunayya in istata'ata alla tabita illa ala wudu fafa'al. So, oh my son, if you are able to go to bed in the state of wudu, that means you make your wudu and then you retire for the night. If you are able to do this, then do so. Because man atahu al-maut wa huwa ala wudu u'tiya shahada. Whoever passes away in the state that he has slept with wudu, this person will be given the rank of shahada, the rank of martyrdom. He then further says, "O my son, if you are able to be continuous in your salah, means you read nafil namaz excessively, then do so, because the angels will continue invoking mercy upon you as long as you are in the state of salah." So two great virtues of wudu, steeping in the state of wudu and being punctual in nafil salah. Then the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam informs him that, "Oh my son, baligh fil ghusli," that when you are impure from janaba, then make sure that you make a proper ghusl. And if you do so, the reward and virtue of that is that you will exit from the bathroom in such a way that no sin remains on your body. Anas radiallahu anh says, "O Nabi of Allah, may my father and mother be sacrificed to you. What is it? What does it mean to make a proper ghusl?" The Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ensure that the roots of your hair are fully wet and that your skin is properly cleansed and purified." In our terms, we will say shampooing and soaping the body. Shampooing the hair and soaping the body. This fulfills that requirement of a proper ghusl, and if done with the correct intention, it has the effect that all the minor sins of a person will be washed away. Then the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam informs him, and he says, "O my son, إن قدرت أن تجعل من صلواتك في بيتك شيئا." And this is specifically for males, where the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, if you can keep a portion of your salah at home, means your nafil salah or your sunnah salah, the farz salah for males should be in the masjid. But as far as the nafil and sunnah salah, if you are able to keep some portion of the salah at home, then do so, because this will increase the khair, the goodness, and the barakah of your home. And then the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, "O my beloved son, إذا دخلت على أهلك فسلم." When you enter your home, when you enter and see your family members, then make salam to them. يكون بركة عليك وعلى أهل بيتك. This will bring barakah for you, and it will bring barakah for your home. The Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam further says, "O my beloved son, إذا خرجت من بيتك فلا يقعن بصرك على أحد من أهل القبلة إلا سلمت عليه." Salam is not only for your home. The Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that when you leave your home, then if you see anyone from the believers, make salam upon them. You will find that when you return home, your good deeds have increased to a great measure. And then the famous advice that if you are able to spend your days and nights in such a way that there is no hatred and malice in your heart for anybody, then do so. Then the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam further says in his last advices, he says, when you leave your home and you see any of the believers, do not consider them to be inferior to you, rather consider that every one of them has a superior rank above you, and you are the worst of them. This is the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's advice, that we keep ourselves humble and we consider the goodness of others, and we keep our eyes on the evil within our own selves. And then the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam rounds his advice up, and he says that if you will protect this advice that I give you, means you will hold fast to it and you will implement it, nothing will be more beloved to you than death. Meaning you will be waiting to meet Allah, because you know that what is in store for you in the hereafter. And then the Nabi of Allah finally says, "Inna dhalika min sunnati." These are from my way of life. وَمَنْ أَحْيَا سُنَّتِي فَقَدْ أَحَبَّنِي. Whoever revives my sunnah, means loves my sunnah fully in his life, indeed that person loves me. And وَمَنْ أَحَبَّنِي كَانَ مَعِي فِي الْجَنَّةِ. Whoever loves me will be indeed with me in Jannah. This is the month of Rabiul Awwal, where the love of the Nabi of Allah is kindled within our hearts. Let us take not only listen to the nasiha, but let us implement the nasiha and the advices of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is the true measure of our love for the Nabi of Allah. May Allah Ta'ala grant us all tawfiq wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Ameen, and Jazakallah so much for that. That was Mufti Salie from the Jamiatul in KwaZulu-Natal, sharing some pertinent advices with us this morning. Let's take a break. When we come back, we continue with the second hour of the show.